Niamh, we're training here tonight ahead of the UCD game, but obviously we only managed a point against Galway at the weekend. What are some of the positives we can take from that going forward?
Yeah, well, the positives from the game, we didn't lose, because it's a lot worse losing 3 points than it is to lose or to come away with 1 point. So that's the plus from it. It was the first real challenge we've had this season, even though it's the second game. So it was probably a good warm-up match for UCD this weekend. They were the two positives, I think. And then we have a lot to work on, which we're planning to get through tonight and this week, the rest of the week. So we're on top of our game for Saturday's night and Saturday night's clash.
Obviously, both UCD and Galway did take points from us last season, and they've taken points from Wexford. So do you feel UCD, Galway, give them a bit of credit, they'll be potentially pushing for this title as well?
Yeah, all of them will definitely think so, because the league now is so much more competitive and there's a better spread of talent, more so last year and this year than in previous years in the league. So definitely the league is kind of wide open, but just for on our behalf, we'd had such a good pre-season and we'd all worked so hard that to only come away with a point from the Galway game at home in Talca Park was kind of disappointing for us. But maybe it's the kick we need to just focus, and as I said, it's better to come away with 1 point and lose at the start of the season, and then we know exactly what to do, rather than losing it towards the crunch end of the season.
We drew with UCD here last year, but then with 2 games, I think we went to UC Jackman and then we had them in the cup final and we won those 2 games. So obviously they have to take that positive going forward.
Yeah, defo, and they're always the big games, UCD and us, and probably because we're rivals and they're another Dublin club that are we have great friendships between the two. But again, you want to prove you're the best, and they have always put up to us. And I think we'll just be after our not so ideal start in the last game, we'll be eager to get out there and just prove ourselves again. And I always feel when you're playing against top opposition, you're going to play at the top of your level, so hopefully that will work for us.
Of course, and obviously so some of the UCD players, their names speak for themselves, your Julianne Russells, your Anya Gormans, and you've played with them at international level as well, so kind of what do you be expecting from them on Saturday?
And they're such senior players now for the national team as well, so they'll bring kind of characteristics to their team which is hard to match sometimes, especially with I'd say they have over 100 caps between them. But we have to look at our senior players that they mightn't be as decorated, but they're still there putting in the graft every week. So again, it's nice to challenge yourself against these top players, and that's where the kind of rivalry comes from as such, because you want to prove yourself in this league.
But obviously you've played with these girls at international level, and there recently, prior to the Galway game, you were away for a camp in Wales with the international side. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was good again, because unfortunately I'm only coming back from these first few games back from injury for me, so pre-season was good that I got a few under my belt, and then that was kind of another warm-up game because it was just closed door friendlies for me coming into the league, and it was nice to get some game time as well, because as I said, I haven't played much since March, so I was appreciative of any minute I could get. And Wales are a good side, and again they're probably in the development stages like we are at senior level, so it was nice to be able to be matched against quite a similar opposition and compare yourselves as such.
Obviously you went away to that camp with a few of our own players like Noel and Leanne, Alex. You reunited with Katie for that trip as well. But how is it does that help your game and everybody's game when there's players who are playing at international level and then at club level?
Yeah, it's nice to have some familiar faces, and Shiv joined us then as well as for the second game. So, and she used to be my roomie, and then Katie coming over, and she's my current roomie. And then just having the young girls as well, it's just nice because it just feels a bit more like you're at home when you're there. And then if you have a problem, you can go to them or whatever. So it's nice. But even just to get the girls' experience, they did unbelievable. Both Leanne and Alex did so good, and I definitely think you'll see them in the future setup with the Irish team as well. So it would be nice to have a few more Shells faces in the team.
I'm obviously you're between the sticks, so you see what's going out there throughout the whole game. Looking at these players, what can you say about the up and coming talent at this club and indeed in general?
Yeah, since we came, like from Reedy to Shells, like the youth development has just changed dramatically. Like I like a lot of the players I wouldn't have known, as I've been like I'm over underage football now about 4 or 5 years, so like I hadn't seen the youth as such. When you come into Shells and they're up training every week with you and you're getting to know new faces all the time, and like every time you see a new face they bring more and more talent in. Like it's really good for like the future of Irish football, as well as just Shelbourne, our club, which is nice to see, because I'm assuming like Peamount and the likes would have similar setups too.
And like, maybe just to finish up, like obviously between yourself, like so Rebecca, Noelle, Siobhan, you guys have done so much, you've won so much domestically, internationally. So do you feel your role as a footballer changing now, in the sense that you kind of have to school some of these youngsters as well and just guide them in their kind of footballing career?
Yeah. And it's funny because like I remember for so many years that was me, and like so I remember how intimidating it was to come in and play with players, and even just the experience of players nearly makes them a better player rather than just raw talent. So like I try to be like give as much information as I can, but you don't want to like overload them either, because they're still learning as well. But I would definitely say it's kind of intimidating. But for me as a senior player, I learn as much from them now, because I get to see, like, I think her name was Rachel, one of the under 14, she was 14-year-olds in goalkeeping with us the other day, and like the talent there even as well is it's cool to see. So it really drives me to be my best as well. So I'm sure like Noelle and Shiv and some of the older players like Pearl and everything, I feel the exact same.
They'll keep you on your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, Niamh, best of luck for the game on you against UDC the weekend.
Yeah, thanks a million.